Joaquín Zihuatanejo. There it is. All right. Ready to go? All right. Nice to meet you, first of all. I'm glad I got your name right. It took me a couple times. So, congratulations on your award, first of all. You're the only person out of Dallas to ever do this. What does that feel like?
Oh, it feels incredible. I feel like for the first time, maybe in ever, that the city, the entire city sees me and sees poetry in a way that maybe they haven't before. This appointment of Dallas Poet Laureate, it's bringing poetry into the forefront of the arts in our city, and it's always been here. We've always had poets in Dallas, and I'm so honored to be the person that gets to help move this train forward. So, yeah.
So, of all the artistic expressions you could choose, why slam poetry?
Look, I was raised in the barrio of East Dallas, the Lower East Side, and my abuelo, my grandfather, raised me because my mom was a teenager.
Hey, I'm from South Dallas, I understand.
He put a book in my hand, and he said, "Read it aloud to me, practice." And when I would read aloud and see his face change, like from just a poem, he would be moved to tears, or he would smile, I was like, I want to do this. Like that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. I want to be paid money to make people's faces change with words, and so that's how it started for me.
So with that being said, what do you think your best failure was? What's the one that impacted your career the most?
My best failure.
Your best failure. What was that?
Here it is. I got it.
All right, let's go.
I won the city championship for Poetry Slam for Dallas. I was Dallas city champion. Then I won the state championship, and then I made it to the national champion, representing Dallas there. And this is a decade ago. My first time there. I made it out of 64 cities, I made it to the final 4. And you only have 3 minutes and 10 seconds to recite your poem, or otherwise you get a point deduction. I read for 3 minutes and 11 seconds. I went 1 second over time. And that point deduction bumped me from first place in the world to second place. But I go back 2 years later with a new poem, make it to the final 4 again. I read for 3 minutes and 9 seconds. So that 1 second that I lived with for 2 years, that time penalty just drove me like there was a fire in me. I couldn't wait to get back.
So, that's a testament to perseverance. So what is your driving force? You didn't have to go back. You could have quit. You could have honestly quit. So what drove you to go back and I'm going to get this second? Like, what was your driving force?
It's funny you say that because when I first found the Dallas Poetry Slam, I had mentors like Jonathan Gino White and Roderick Rock Baby Gowdy, and they had me write on a Post-it note some goals. Some goals. And I wrote down to win the individual World Poetry Slam Championship. That was one of my goals. And I also wrote down, fight to make a Dallas Poet Laureate position and then be that thing. These were goals that I wrote down on a Post-it and turned into my mentors, and they gave them back to me I got to live up to those goals. I manifested them in words. Now I have to manifest them with life.
The crazy part, you said manifest. You said everything that is built into the name of our show, the Prophetic Podcast.
There it is.
It's a lesson I got from my mom growing up, so I identify with that because I carry that with me everywhere I go. So I put in the name to make sure I'm always. So I identify with that. So my last question for you, I'll let you get out of here. What's next for you? You got all these accolades. You have all of this success. What's next?
Well, for me, what's next is this poem that I get to give about the accommodation. This book is so important. It's hard to call yourself a Dallasite if you haven't had this book in your hand and experienced it, because it tells so much about the racial strife that existed, in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, and even today. This book tells about the beauty of Dallas, but also tells about the ugliness of it. And I was honored to be commissioned to write a poem about the book and about our city. And my future, there's a lot of things in the future, but my main goal right now is getting through this poem and honoring this book and honoring this city.
You got this.
Thank you.
We're going to have to talk again, man. Absolutely. Very nice to meet you. Thank you, man.
Let's hook up. I want to get on that podcast.
Yeah, come by. Let's do it. All right.